Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Ride Boundless Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Ride Clean. Ride Clean is an ultra premium polish, wash, and sealer. Simple to use. Simply shake, spray, and wipe, and your bike looks like $1,000,000. It does give you a mirror-like finish. It is made in the USA. If you use promo code RB Podcast, you'll get 20% off plus free shipping anywhere in the US. That's rideclean.co. Promo code RB Podcast. What an awesome episode. I shot down to Roland Sands and sat down with Roland, and man, this guy is cool. What he designs, what he makes, the name, everything about him is awesome. One of the highlights that made me excited to meet him is I've been a fan of the brand for a long time. I've had a jacket for, 7, 8 years. And it's just so functional and so cool. And the longer I have it, the better it gets. And this is what everything he makes is like. I mean, parts, helmets, motorcycles. I mean, anything this guy touches, it turns to gold. To sit down with him and have the conversation we had, which was all over the place, thanks to me, because his office is so cool. It was an honor, and it was so fun. We laughed our asses off. The whole conversation was a roller coaster. So without further ado, here we go. Roland, thank you for having me. I love your shop, man.
Oh, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely. I got invited here first with, just a few weeks ago with BMW when you guys were launching the R18 test rides.
Yeah, before Christmas. Yeah.
Right before Christmas. So I checked it out, got a tour around the shop, and the place you should have a warning sign of, like, be cautious because you're going to buy a lot of shit. Like, I seriously left just visiting. I probably bought like $600-$700 worth of stuff.
Appreciate that. Thanks for the support.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Of course. How you dealing with the New Year's and business and COVID and the Capitol building?
Man.
What's going on?
Today specifically is a pretty crazy day. There's been a lot of lead up to this day, the 6th, and certifying the election and all that. So, I don't know, man. I definitely have forgot about it a lot over Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us did. And then it's kind of all coming to a head today, which is just, I don't know, man. I just want to get back to work, man. I just want to get focused on business and get focused on moving the motorcycle industry forward. And, we all get spiraled up on all this political bullshit, like now more than ever.
Right.
I mean, no matter what, everyone's got a political opinion.
Everybody
right now.
More than ever.
More than ever.
Yeah.
Like multitudes more than ever.
Why do you, again, I know you're just a regular guy and you just make amazing shit, but why, what's the reason behind it that you think of why everybody's paying attention so much and everybody's so strongly opinionated?
Social media, man.
It is true, yeah.
We're being fed all this information. We have our cell phones that are in front of our faces all the time. We're constantly inundated and being fed. Like, if you keep your mouth open, you're gonna get some shit in your mouth,
Yeah.
And we're all kind of in that situation right now. I have really focused on not paying as much attention to social media over the past 6 months.
But they force it.
They force
it. We all got the notification right now. Capitol building being attacked. Like, what?
I'm not on Facebook, but the people around me are.
That's awesome.
And so they talk to me about that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I've kind of peeled off of Instagram too. I don't know, man. I'm happier without it, which is hard to say. It's a great way for us to get our message out and talk to people and tell stories and things like that. And just kind of like, if you don't have that portion of your business on lock, the marketing portion of it on social media or just your ability to get to people without like a newspaper or a magazine or television, you're not really doing business these days. So we're kind of forced into it. But personally, I've been trying to rotate off of it, and maybe it's because, I think it's because of my kids, because I have 2 young children.
How old are they?
They're 3 and 5.
Nice.
And I was noticing how much attention I was paying to my phone rather than them. And I need to pay attention to them. I want to spend time with them. and that's become more important.
Yeah, it's very important. I have a 2-year-old right now, and I don't fuck around with my phone as much, but I do catch myself that if it's a message I'm getting involved with or a phone call, or I slip into that Instagram feed of like, oh, bikes, or whatever it is.
Yeah. The death scroll.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, 10, 15 minutes, and the little guy's jumping off a couch or jumping off the table or hanging off a chandelier, and you're like, oh shit, because they're at that age where it's like they're that quick.
Yeah.
What is it? The terrible twos coming up.
Oh yeah, no, you're in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it's terrible twos, terrible threes, terrible fours.
It definitely goes past the twos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my kids are hilarious. They entertain me all the time.
Yeah.
So even though they can be wild animals, like a lot of the time I'm just laughing.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. No,
yeah.
I have a great. I got a question because I love spending time with my little boy. Love it. And I see how people act when you go to places and there's kids, and I always feel that like people treat pets or dogs better than kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like somebody can walk in somewhere with a pet and they're like, oh, and then you go to like a store or something with a baby and people are like, what are you doing here with your baby, man? Like,
especially now,
it's a supermarket, but
yeah, put a mask on that thing.
Yeah, like hey, calm the fuck down. But
Yeah.
I feel, especially in LA, that people are like they're afraid or like kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
You see that?
I mean, I like kids. I think kids are like. I mean, I see somebody with a baby, and I usually say hi.
Yeah.
Or I'll wave to kids. I always wave to kids.
Cool.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm used to like kids coming in here and being super stoked on all the bikes and everything. So I try to engage people that have kids.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know how it is when you jump on an airplane.
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is
when
when you used to jump on airplanes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
what's an airplane?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, when CDs and records, I remember that.
Yeah. But when you jump on an airplane and you're surrounded by kids, you're kind of like, oh,
I get that scenario, but I'm telling you,
Yeah.
like, I'd walk into a bank and it'd be like, what are you doing? Like or one more example, and I'll jump off this kid subject because this is how much I enjoy spending time with my kid that I get.
I could talk about it for hours, but yeah.
Like I went to I was in Dubai, and Dubai is. I mean, it's crazy. Number one, it's amazingly awesome, and number two, it's so family friendly. Like you go to a mall. They have one mall that has a ski resort inside the mall where you can go snowboarding, skiing. There's a snow village where the kids can play and make snowmen and slides and tires. And then you go to another mall and it has a full aquarium. And the aquarium, you can walk through it, and they have like a tunnel. You get on a raft and go on top of it. You can go scuba diving in it. And then after that, it exits to a little jungle gym, or not a jungle gym, a jungle, where you could see fucking owls and you could see all kinds of shit. And everywhere you go, there is a place for your kids to have fun and hang out and activities, ski rings and everything. And I don't see that here anymore, And same thing, I was in Russia. And Russia, same thing. You have a bunch of places where you could take your kids and do activities and do stuff. It's like everything here is, for the adults, and, your kids have to stay home.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially now with the whole COVID thing. But this is something I've seen, for years now.
Well, we're pretty fortunate. We have some pretty amazing parks by our house for kids. And they've been updating them and doing some really cool stuff. And my kids can play there for hours. But, yeah, you go to the mall. I mean, what are kids going to play with?
There's nothing for them at the mall.
Yeah.
A fucking ski resort, bro.
Yeah.
Inside of a mall, a ski resort, bro. I'm talking. It has a lift.
Do you just like leave your kids and like go shopping and come back, and they're like, hey.
You can, yeah. You check in. They put on this snowsuit. You rent that out and just go. Okay, have fun
in the desert.
In the desert, inside of a mall. Anyways, bro, I want to hear about how you got into motorcycles. I know you've been racing. I've been watching a lot of your stuff online and your story. But for my listeners. When did you get into motorcycles? Was your family a big part of motorcycles?
Yeah.
What's the story?
Dude, I was just born into it. Like my dad was into bikes, actually from a fairly young age, from the time he was, I think probably 15. He was like building little scooters. Putting a lawnmower engine in a bicycle and things like that when he was a kid.
That's awesome.
So he's always been into it, and that kind of turned into him building custom forks for motorcycles. and for like choppers and things like that. And then guys were building big motors, so we started building disc brake systems, and that became, Performance Machine, which was my dad's company.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I
mean,
That's
dude,
awesome.
I've spent my entire life around two wheels. It's just, for me, like, it was like riding a bike, I guess you say,
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
literally.
it's something that's been with me since the beginning. So I've been surrounded by a lot of really interesting people,
Right.
from racers to customizers and all types of different two-wheeled creations from, back in the day, my dad used to build movie bikes. Remember Nighthawk?
Yeah.
He built the Nighthawk bikes
That's
back in the
fucking
day.
insane.
Yeah, Bob Corral jet bikes and streamliners and sand dragsters and flat trackers and
you saw
road
all that.
racers. Oh yeah,
That is
yeah.
so fucking insane.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's
So you've been living the dream your whole life.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, for some people, for me, it's definitely work.
Yeah.
I mean, because
But it's something you like. It's something.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
for
which
sure
is
enjoy
another
it.
thing that I've been watching your videos a lot. You had an interview with a guy, I think Eric something, 8 years ago, and the way you were talking, it's pretty impressive because you say a lot of stuff that like you hear now that's cliche, like like I don't have competition, or I don't pay attention to my competition, or if it gets my attention, I try to make it better, or if
Yeah.
they copy it, I just change it. Like you have this mentality that it's like you have a wisdom that where'd that come from, Because now people talk about it, but
Appreciate that.
But when I saw it back, when I'm looking at these videos, I'm looking like 7 years, 8 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
Like this guy had some good guidance.
I mean, my dad was always just a great person to talk to about things, and he always did things his way,
Yeah.
So I saw somebody who was successful and was successful implementing what they thought was the right thing to do. I didn't say he didn't ask anybody. He just didn't ask for permission, for certainly. And it wasn't like he was looking to other people to lead his decision making about what he wanted to create.
Right.
I mean, he leaned on us because we were, I was a bike builder, I was a designer, I was a racer. We had a really cool crew at the shop at that time who were creative people. And so, you got to lean on the people around you. But in order to do that, you have to surround yourself with decent human beings. Like,
Yeah.
number one, people who are creative, people who are just good humans, And that's rule number one.
Yeah, go-getters, people doing
Yeah.
stuff with their life. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I always kind of look like, who I was communicating with. Who am I communicating with? Who am I talking to? Who do I want to talk to? Who do I want to learn from? And then I'd reach out.
But that's, you see, that's amazing. And everybody should have that common sense, but they don't have that common sense. My question to you is, where did you learn? Like, did you have a moment in your life you're like, fuck, I'm surrounding myself with good people or shitty people, I got to change this or keep this? Or was it something that your father taught you, growing up, like, hey, son, like, these people will get you nowhere. These people, you got to surround yourself with good people. Like, where did that come from? Because you speak of it, and I've heard you speak of it previously.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck, man, that's wise. And I think,
I don't want to be broke.
Yeah, you don't want to be broke.
Yeah.
So you're aware of your surroundings, kind of.
Yeah. Motivation's a weird fucking thing.
Right.
And I don't want to say I'm inherently lazy, but in some ways I am. And so for me, I find that I have to get motivated. I got to motivate myself, and sometimes that isn't the most natural thing for me. Sometimes I just rather just fucking go do exactly what I want to do at that time, and fortunately for me, what I want to do oftentimes aligns with what works in business. And I think that's probably a pretty rare thing.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, but I think it's not rare for people who are successful, as entrepreneurs, because it's pretty hard to get up every day and do something you don't enjoy just to make money,
Right.
and if that's your goals, like, I just want to make money, well, fuck, good luck,
Good luck, yeah.
It's just hard to stay that motivated. So fortunately for me, I have something I really enjoy doing, two wheels, and I get to apply my expertise across a lot of different ways. Whether it's apparel or hard parts or events, custom bike builds, I get to be involved in all those things. And for me, I'm a bit of I can be a little bit ADD, but I call it functional ADD,
Right.
It's just I go from item to item, and luckily I have,
Well, there's always something to keep you busy. You know, there's like the race coming up. There's this event coming up. There's this show coming up. Like there's always, I guess, yeah, you were just kind of doing what you like and
doing what I like
and walking the right direction.
Yeah. And you just got to keep finding that motivation to do it every day, you know, which is hard sometimes because sometimes I literally just want to go garden.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go like have a farm somewhere.
Right.
You know, or like go, I don't know what. Just do something that just occupies my mind in the most simplest way. Like it's weird. Like the joy you get out of life sometimes you get an incredible amount of joy from simplicity.
Yeah. Yeah, from the simple things.
Yeah, most of us have a hard time grasping that.
When you say that, I think of Dave Chappelle back in the days when he was just like, I don't want to live in any city, you know, and he moved to Tennessee or something in a farm and moved his family was living in a farm. Everybody's like, Dave Chappelle isn't a farm. Like this guy's loaded, and he's like, I just like farm life, you know, like that's it. Sometimes you want to do simple shit.
Dude, simple shit's dope, man. I mean, people forget about that. That's where
we get distracted.
We're like in this.
It's a fake world.
We're fucking spooled up, bro. Like all of us, you know, like across the board, we're spooled up. We have so much input and information, and like I know we're supposed to talk about fucking motorcycles, but like I got hip to this guy Wim Hof.
Yeah, Wim Hof's badass, man.
You know him?
Fuck yeah, the Iceman.
Yes,
of course.
So I'm on like. Not that I've only been doing it for 2 weeks.
All the breathing exercises.
The breathing exercises and the cold showers and stuff.
He's amazing. He's broken like 27 or 28 world records.
Oh yeah.
You know they put like a fucking a virus in his body and with his breathing
E. coli.
techniques. Yeah, it was E. coli.
Yeah.
And he beat it just with his breathing techniques.
And you know
controlling
that
the alkaline.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
And then he brought in like 20 people to do the exact same thing to prove it wasn't just him.
Right.
And man.
Yeah, and he proved it. He proved he can train it, that he's not a special, you know, being, that he's just a guy that figured it out after his wife died, right? That's when he started getting into, I think he lost his wife. Oh, fuck, I don't remember what to, so I won't say. But after that, that's when he was just like in the snow, you know, just for fucking hours. And he was like, what the fuck?
Climbing up mountains, dude, in his shorts.
Mount Everest, fucking, and flip-flops and crazy shit like that. No, Wim Hof is amazing. I think he did 8-9 hours in an ice tank, just in ice with shorts. Yeah,
broke the world record for like longest ice bath. It could like modulated his temperature, dude.
Yeah.
With his own physiology. Yeah.
Just practicing his own breathing techniques, and it's funny because my wife, when we did when we found out, you know, she couldn't breathe and she started worrying about this whole COVID thing, like, oh, this shit is real now because I can't breathe. First thing she defaulted to, she paid for the Wim Hof app. I think it's like $50 or $80 a month, and just getting these exercises in there. She's like, we got to do the Wim Hof treatment, you know, because this is natural. I don't trust medicine and blah, 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 blah.
That's when I hit it too, man.
Is that really?
Yeah, no, I got the fucking COVID over Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I was just like sitting there, I wasn't sick or anything, like a little bit. And
you said your body, a few body aches.
I had body pains, but I was trying to keep away from the kids because they all tested negative, and the wife tested negative, and so I just had a lot of time on my hands, and I got in. I definitely dove deep on the Wim Hof and the breathing method, and then I was kind of like, well, dude, if I can do this breathing method, I'm not gonna have any issues with my lungs. I started doing it, and it made me feel amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like full buzz.
It'll get you, it'll get you lightheaded and a little fucked up when you start getting, especially like 15 minutes in, you're like, what the fuck's going on? But when you get past that, you feel good.
You feel good. You buzz like you're vibrating.
I found them like 2-3 years ago, and I was more fascinated about his story, but I didn't practice it as much. And I saw a few videos, and then I was at like LA Fitness at the swimming pool. And I was like, let me try, you know, and I was doing all the breaths and shit. And, you know, I was able to do like 3 laps, and it was like a, 25 or 50 meter, whatever fucking pool. And I was like, whoa, this shit works. You know?
Do 40 push-ups like that, holding your breath.
Yeah.
I mean, that worked for me. And then the craziest thing was like, I could hold my breath for 3 minutes.
That's 3 minutes is fucking insane.
No problem.
That's insane.
A trip. I mean, I surf a little bit, so I kind of had like a little bit of experience with breath holding, but Yeah, but it was effortless, and I look forward to it. I look forward to holding my breath, which I hate doing.
Right.
But I look forward to it because you like reach
3
this.
minutes is so fucking long.
It is a long time.
Like, we've
right?
probably been talking about Wim Hof for 3 minutes. Like, fuck. You know?
But it doesn't feel like 3 minutes, dude. It feels, I don't know. I go somewhere else when I do the breathing method, and
Yeah.
it's a nice place to go.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Another guy you might like that I just finished this book twice is David Goggins. And I was going to bring him up right before you brought up Wim Hof, because he talks about, he has a thing where he talks about fuck motivation, you know. And the reason fuck motivation is because you might wake up in the morning and say, you know, like, I'm going to go fucking running. You know, I got to lose weight. I'm going to run. I'm going to do this. You can put on your shoes. You can put on your shorts. You can put on your jacket. You open the door and it's cold. And you're like, oh, I'm not that motivated right now. Like, you know, like it's fucking cold, you know? And basically his whole thing is like, your brain is your enemy. You know, your brain is always looking for comfort. Your brain is always looking for rest. Your brain is always like, no, don't do that. Don't do Roland. Don't do that. That's work, bro.
Yeah.
Relax, bro.
Ooh, you don't want to get that heart rate up.
Get on the couch, bro.
Yeah.
Get some coffee. Get a nice meal.
Oh, you don't want to have to go back upstairs
No, bro,
again.
yeah,
You don't want to go
yeah.
upstairs again.
Just
You
put a
stay
bathroom
down
up
here.
here. Yeah, rest, relax.
Yeah.
And that's your brain. Your brain's like, those guys don't do shit. Hang out with them. That's cool. That's cool right there.
Why are we like that?
Again, it's our brain, and I think our brain just is trying to. Our brain doesn't like to be challenged. Physically, it doesn't like to be challenged, because after a hard day work, you're exhausted, and your brain's like, well, that was exhausting.
You need a
You know?
drink. You need to sit down.
You need to, get some
Take a
rest.
load off.
Don't do that again. You know, and
Yeah.
I think it's I really think it's the brain is trying to make sure we're very careful, you know, but the people that break out of that are the people that succeed, the people that challenge their mind, the people that challenge their, you know, their, like, again, David Goggins, he was this fat, you know, guy, just, you know, bottom of, you know, the society.
Yeah.
And now he became a fucking Navy SEAL. He then became an Army Ranger. He then was in the Air Force, you know, fucking parachute, blah, blah, blah. He beat the pull-up record. He did like 14,000 pull-ups or something like that in 8 hours. And now anything that when he feels comfortable, that's what's awkward to him. He needs to do something that's going to challenge him. And if he sits here and he's relaxing, he's like, wait a minute, there's something wrong.
That's how I feel in business.
And that's why I was going to bring him up, because when you're talking about motivation, or, you know, just fucking like, you have to do something. Like,
I always feel like if I'm idling in business, if I don't have like a pull to get into the next thing, or like, you know, who do I need to connect with? Who do I need to put this together with? Who do I need to do this with? Then I start to feel uncomfortable. Like, I try it when it comes to things like, you know, I can keep 15 people employed and paid, you know, like I better be grinding and making sure that we have work, and that we have that we're moving forward on all accounts.
Yeah. So so there is a part of your brain that's like, hey, you know, I would really like to just rest, but there's another part of your brain that's like, no, I gotta get shit happening.
Yeah, the farmer part of me wants to be like on a farm somewhere. Like,
but you're not. You're here.
But I'm here, you know, grinding, and like sometimes I'm like, what do I do this for? You know, how do I work every fucking day? And it's like, well, and then I look around, you know, and I look around at all these people that I work with, and, you know, it's I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm going farming. Like, how long would I be stoked doing that? I don't know. I couldn't answer that. Maybe I'd dig it for a little while, and I'd be like, dude, I need to get back to doing what I love.
Yeah, that does happen too.
Yeah,
but maybe you start farming, and you're like, you know what? I'm just staying here forever. I got a friend of mine right now. He just went to Mexico. I'm going for 2 months. He's been there for 6, and now he's staying another 6. You know,
wow.
just like that. He's like, this is it. This is where I'm going to be at.
I mean,
but he has an online business.
Yeah,
and his business is doing great. So why not?
If you can do it, do it. If you can space out. I mean, the crew here, they work hard, and they're pretty self-motivated. So I could spend some time away, but it definitely means something while I am here, you know. And we're building a brand new building in Long Beach right now, and
nice,
doubling the square footage of this place.
You're gonna move out or keep them both?
I'm gonna keep this building and lease it. So if anyone's listening to this and they need a building in Los Alamitos, I got 8,000 square feet for you.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. But the new space is cool, and I'm partnering with a good friend of mine, and it's It's going to be an incredible space. Big boat truss buildings, like 35 foot high ceilings.
Whoa.
Big mezzanine inside. Cool creative space, great for events. You know, going to be able to do a lot of different stuff. We'll have a little theater in there because my partner produces films and shorts and commercials and things like that.
Yeah, so put a fucking theater in there. He'll be stoked about that. And he'll be doing more shorts.
Yeah.
More films, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a once in a lifetime project for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, building this place was awesome.
It's such a cool fucking place.
I love it. It's going to be super hard to leave this office.
Yeah.
Like, this is like my home.
So you own the building. You just move the business and lease it out.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. This is awesome.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to leave, but the new place is a dream location. It for sure is a dream location. So
what was Roland? You've been around. I want to say what? Well, you know exactly. 15 years? No, since early 2000s.
Been around
the company Roland Sands.
Yeah, 2005.
2005. What was the vision then, and what has it changed? What has surprised you today? Like, the vision was blah blah blah, but I'm Super 73, so random, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, initially, I was a motorcycle racer,
right,
who was forced to design Harley parts to maintain my racing drug habit. You know, like,
so you were doing it to survive.
Racing was heroin, man, and I had to keep working and make money for the company in order to go racing for a long time. So it was like I was forced into doing the V-twin stuff, and but I would say the job at that time was easy because, you know, there just wasn't that much good stuff out there product-wise. And here I had a machine shop, so I could design stuff that the machine shop could make. And it was just a matter of like figuring out how to use new tools to cut stuff. And, you know, I got brought in SolidWorks into my dad's company, a 3D design software at the time that nobody in our space was using. No one's using 3D modeling. Everyone's on CAD-CAM, which is like 2D design software. So it's like I got to bring in some of these things that changed the business from like its roots. So we got to create all this new product, I think, that set an example for what could be done in the space. And at that time, nobody was doing it like we did it. And we had I mean, dude, I want to say for 10 years, no one was really touching us design-wise. We just, because I was constantly grinding on the design. And just as soon as anyone was like, whoa, what's that? You can make product that looks like that, you know, then they would get started and we'd be on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Unfortunately, and that was when the V-twin market was just skyrocketing. Right. So we made everything we made, we sold at that time. Right. And the price wasn't an issue. That was the crest of the wave of decadence. Yeah. In America. Yeah. I feel.
Especially for V-twins, because I remember back then there wasn't too many companies. There was companies, but there wasn't as many as making parts for Harley. I mean, you had Custom Chrome, PM, obviously.
Arlen Ness.
There was a handful, and then there was like, you know, one windshield, Clockworks back then. Yeah. And that I mean, it was a handful. And then there was a bunch of companies throughout the U.S. that you never heard of, you know, that making custom parts, but they never kind of grew, and social media wasn't social media, but it was very limited. And then you guys came out around then, and that was, you know, the beginning, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was maybe the last magazine published famous bike builder, I guess, you know? At that time, I mean, in paper, I was I was like the last guy.
What's paper?
I was maybe the last at that time, like, I don't want to say famous bike builder is a weird thing to say, but because of the TV thing, yeah, you know, and you couldn't just TV at that time. There was no social media. There was just TV and magazines, right. Dude.
That's it. Yeah, I remember all the Harley shops and bike shops couldn't wait for the magazine to come in. Yeah, and like we were talking about, Dean and I were, as soon as we got those magazines, we were like, what the fuck's going on in the world? Yeah, and, you know, it's crazy times.
I used to tell the story, man, and now it's just not that way. Everyone tells their own story now. Right. You know, like you want to get to the heart of anything or want to know what somebody's about, then you follow what they do, and that's the good thing about social media. The good things about social media, you can tell your own story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. But You got to be careful what you post too.
Fuck yeah.
You got as you know, your individual account or your business account. It's like some people need to apply for a job, and a requirement's like, hey, what's your Facebook and Instagram? And it's like, forget it. I'm good.
Never mind.
Never mind. You know,
Never mind.
and people get fired. You know, because of you know, whatever they post on their social media.
People get fired because of what their wives post.
Yeah.
People get canceled because of shit they didn't even do or say. Like this
Such
poor
a
kid.
Crazy time.
Dude, this poor kid. I say poor kid. Some people will probably be like, "Fuck that, he's an asshole." But this, the F1 kid who posted a picture of him grabbing some chick's boobs, right?
Okay, I don't think I've seen that one.
They trying to cancel this kid. He's a brand new kid, you know. Like, I guess his dad's a money guy or whatever that helped him get a ride for. I think it was for Haas. It's for Haas F1. I'm forgetting the kid's name, but they're canceling him, man.
Because he had his hand on a woman's breast.
Because he posted a picture or posted in a video of him grabbing this model's boob.
And the model was cool with it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
yeah,
she didn't
like
complain.
She didn't complain. She was there.
Yeah.
So he was being a kid.
He was being a kid.
Cool,
yeah.
And that's it.
And now everybody gets to have an opinion about it.
Right.
And then now this kid's racing career is in jeopardy because all these people are like writing and telling Haas not to employ the kid.
What the fuck is happening? I mean, where does it stop? And how did it get?
It doesn't stop.
But how did it get to this fucking point?
The genie's out of the bottle, man. I mean, you give people you give random people the control of letting their opinion filter out throughout the world, you know?
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't have anything in their life or has maybe never worked hard for anything, then all of a sudden they get an opinion and they get to affect things. And that the cancel culture is born. I mean, it's fucking frightening because there's nobody out there who hasn't done something or said something that somebody else could come after them for.
Right.
And roast them.
And roast them, yeah.
You know, we've all done or said something stupid at some time or another, had a couple too many drinks, done something
that's
dumb.
the first thing I'm thinking about. I'm like, fuck, man, the times that I drank and fucked up, you know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, woo. I'm like, oof, thank goodness there wasn't cameras.
Yeah.
Oof. You know, because we've done silly shit, and that's part of, this is why we've survived so long. This is why we are who we are.
We get to make mistakes, dude.
Of course.
We get to
learn
make
from
mistakes.
And some mistakes we don't learn from. Some mistakes we learn from. Some mistakes are needed. It's kind of like the fat shaming or bullying. If I don't agree with it, I don't agree with it. But fuck, I don't think Bill Gates would be around if there wasn't bullying. If he didn't get bullied, I don't think he'd be around. I don't think Jeff Bezos. I think certain people are like, oh yeah, laugh now, watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change the world, and they do change the world. Yeah. You know, same thing with the fat shaming. You can't say certain things about fat shaming, but guess what? If I'm gaining weight, I want somebody to tell me, because if I hear it, I'm like, fuck, man, I really gotta hit the gym, or I gotta cut my carbs. I'm gonna get mad at the in-laws, like, stop bringing so much bread to the house. I'm trying to do a fucking keto diet or whatever they like, something. Yeah. But if nobody tells you, then guess what? You're not gonna get better. You know, for you build a bike part and it sucks. You don't want somebody to be like, oh, bro, everything you make's amazing. No, this sucks. It doesn't work. It's not convenient. It's dumb.
It would seem that we're training the younger generation to really be weak-minded.
Very.
I mean,
don't they all get trophies? Even the losing team?
I grew up getting fucking roasted, bro. I was like 5'7", red hair in high school. You know,
ginger.
Yeah. I was a ginger kid. Yeah. I got shredded by my friends, and I had to learn to be resilient to people talking shit, and then to talk shit back, be intelligent, be smart, make people laugh.
Right. You
Someone's
gonna
talk shit to
your
you.
Mama jokes and shit. You know,
dude,
you gotta buy the book.
Yeah,
you have to.
There's nothing better than firing back on somebody else and having a room full of people laugh at them. That's the best thing in the world.
Yeah,
it's like, I mean, that's success.
That's hilarious. I remember those Yo Mama jokes.
Yo Mama.
Fucking like 300 pages. Yo Mama, shit, that's good stuff. And write it on your hand or something.
Your mama's got a glass eye with a fish in it.
Yeah, your mama's so skinny she can hang glide on a Dorito. Like, dumb shit. Like, your mom's so big, when she sits in class, she sits next to everyone.
Oh,
house.
Your mama's house so small she can't even order a large pizza.
Your family's so poor that I was gonna scratch a booger off the wall. Your mom said, "Don't take off the family portrait."
Oh.
Another one was your family's so poor. I went to your house. I was gonna put out a cigarette. Your mom said, "Don't turn off the heater." So dumb. That's how we grew up, and now you can't say it. Like now, this podcast is gonna be canceled. Now, I just that's it.
We're canceled.
We're
canceled.
We're done,
dude. I find great hilarity in the people that are able to publicly have a voice and talk shit and use comedy to do it.
Yeah.
Like to me, have you heard? Do you watch Ryan Long at all?
No, I haven't seen him. No.
Dude, the way he goes at all this stuff is I think he's on YouTube, Ryan Long, I think. But there's just these cats who can talk shit.
Yeah. My favorite is another ginger cat, Louis C.K. Dude. God.
Wait, no, he got canceled, right?
And he's fucking doing clubs right now with COVID.
I'm sure he's crushing it.
Murdering.
I would go see Louis C.K. right now.
Everybody wants to see Louis C.K. right now, bro.
He's the guy.
He's the dude. You know, like when he came off on his last one on Netflix, he started off talking about abortions. You know, abortions is like taking a shit or it's not. If you think it's like taking a shit, it's a shit. But if you don't, it's killing a baby. Like, you know, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Ryan Long. Yeah, I gotta start recording these on video.
He does one called conservative versus woke versus racist.
Okay.
And it's fucking hilarious. You got a woke guy and a racist guy, and they're it's a comedy, obviously, but they're just comparing like the two things side by side.
Right.
And he's like, what does the guy say? Well, people of color. He's like, well, we call them colored people.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just and they're like, yeah, I mean, whoa, like racism is the difference between putting one word in front of the other,
right,
and changing it. It doesn't have to do with the intent. It's like has to do with what somebody dictates is the right thing you can or can't say. Yeah. Which is like part of like...
Or how you say it.
How you say it.
How you say it, when you say it, the tone you say it, you know.
And it's fucking tough because it's like, I mean, racism's fucking lame. You know? I mean, there's plenty of reasons to hate people based on their individual shit. Yeah. Not based upon like a group of... You know, I'll put you over in this group, and I hate that group.
Yeah. Well, I hate lazy people. You know? And if I can group them up and be like, you're all lazy, don't leave me the fuck alone. You guys are lazy. Yeah. I don't like people that don't like to work. You know, if you're Chinese and it so happens that you don't like to work, guess what? I don't like you either, you know? But what is that? It wasn't because you're Chinese, you know? It's because you know, you're not working. You're not doing your certain things. But, yeah, it's all gray and they take it black or white, you know. And this is, in Miami, the N-word was used for everybody, you know, for everybody. If you were white, they would say the N-word. If you were black, they would say the N-word. If you're Cuban, you know, my nationality is Cuban. If you're Cuban, N-word. Everybody said it. It was just, you know, hey, what's up, you know. Yeah. And you're like, what? In school. And then I came to California, and that's when I was like, oh, that's bad. In Miami, I had no idea. But that's the norm. When I came back to California, I was like, "Oh, you can't say this word. This is really bad. This is racist." Oh,
because in Florida, Cubans could say it, and
in Florida, everybody says
everybody could say it, and it was no big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Even today, my friend's son, they're Colombian. He's light skinned, very light skinned, like green eyes. And he says it, you know, today, you know, and in Florida, it's accepted. In California,
it's regionally accepted.
I think you'll get arrested in California. Like, dude,
it could be bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get a ticket, arrested, handcuffed. Yeah. You got to be careful what you say out here. How this? I mean, I don't want to ask about issues with the brand and having issues with people, but how have you had any issues with your brand and what people think about it or anything? No.
Man, we sidestepped the whole thing, dude.
Yeah, I mean, straight out like
I just sidestepped the whole thing. It was, I mean, for me, maybe it's because I have never taken like any type of like I just have sidestepped the political bias or like what side of the fucking fence I'm on, you know, and you know whoever's this and that. I just kind of stayed away from it publicly. You know, I have my opinions, but I do know this, and I know that my opinions change.
Right.
My opinions rotate.
Well, that's what a smart person would say. An educated, smart person would say, my opinion changes.
My opinion changes. It does.
You know,
and I
you
want...
have certain information. Tomorrow you have new information. You go, oh, you know what? I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the world's that way.
Of course. And that's the problem with what happens with, you know, the president of the United States or any person, any public speaker. If they say something, it's like, oh, and then later on, if they say, you know what, we have new information, it's not that, my bad, it's over. And it's like they fight and riots and this, that. And it's like, no, we should be like, yo, that's cool, man. Thank you for stepping up and bringing out the right information. Yes, information changes daily. Yeah, but yesterday he said, yeah, but he has new information today. And it changes daily. So I like that.
I mean, truth... Fuck to say truth is malleable, but I mean, it's a perspective these days, you know, and like we're fed so much information. It's like, it's our job now to to be the filter for our own headspace.
Yeah.
And it's
impossible.
It's important to be a filter for the shit that you let out in the world to the people around you too. Yeah. You know, I mean, and the one way to know that if you think you're going down the wrong road or something like that, if your opinion and all your information only comes from one fucking place, then you're probably like going down the wrong road.
Right.
You know?
If it's coming from, I get that. Yeah. If it's coming.
And if you refuse to listen to the other side at all in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Then
that's what I was telling you about the guy that I know right now. It's just, I came to the conclusion that I can't even have a conversation. Once I was like, okay, so the only thing you pay attention is Washington Post. He's like, Washington Post. I go, okay, well, this is blah, 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 blah. And here's the article from the Washington Post. But because he didn't like that message, he goes, that's bullshit. Your phone's like fucking set up to like pull up. I'm like, bro, we're done. We're done, bro. like, wait a minute. My phone, what? That's where I realize how far people are getting brainwashed. And people are getting so deep that there's no coming back. And I don't know.
Well, maybe I don't know. I mean, I look at everybody and I say it's not too late for anybody because guess what? Like, I don't know. I think sometimes you're gonna hit the bottom in some way, shape, or form, and then you're either gonna go fucking crazy or gonna be like, this is all bullshit anyways. I mean, like anybody who thinks that one side's right and one side's wrong and that's the fucking way it is,
you're fucked up. Yeah.
The world's not that way right now, man. The world's not that way.
But there's things supporting that thought. And trust me, I have seen people fail miserably, and you would be like, okay, let me give him my hand and help him up, and they're still looking at shit on their social media like, fuck you, don't help me, I'll stay here. I want to be in this misery and anger. and misery loves company, and then they can find it. That's the thing, you can find it. Like,
you can find the story that you want told to you. You can search for that
100%.
story. You can type it right into the search bar, and
it's hilarious.
And you get the information that you're looking for.
Yeah,
it comes right back.
I can find an article saying black hoodies are super gay, you know, and I'm wearing a black hoodie, you know, or you can find one that says it gets all the girls, you know, girls like guys with, you know, hazel eyes and black hoodies and old that say Harley. You know, like whatever, and then you could find whatever the fuck you want. Really, I mean. What can't you find? You can find whatever you want. We can Google your cup, and we can find a million things about that fucking cup, and it's all bullshit.
The weird thing is that I can take a picture of this cup, and I can enter that picture into the internet.
Yeah.
And it will bring up more pictures of a cup just like this. Yeah. Probably take me to where you can purchase the cup.
Did you download the? What you call it? What are these called?
Oh, the widget deal?
The widget deal. That's what the Google one is. The Google widget. You just click on the camera, and it just takes a picture. It just does it automatically. So you don't even have to go to the camera and then go to Google and then search it. You just take a picture and be like, hey, where can I buy this Roland Sands fucking air cleaner? Oh, Roland Sands. You know, but that's where we're getting.
No, this is our master right here.
You know.
This phone thing, man.
I just saw a phone. I was contemplating because I want to get like a second like James Bond phone, and Linux. Are you familiar?
Dude, I'm into it. I want the simple phone.
The Linux. Have you seen the Linux one?
It doesn't have any fucking. It's like one app.
Look, so the software, exactly. The software is very limited.
Yeah.
And then it has a switch for your Wi-Fi that it disconnects the Wi-Fi. It doesn't turn it off. It disconnects it. It has one for your cell phone. It disconnects it. And it has one for your camera. And then to top it off, if you want, you could take the back off. You could actually take your battery out, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And you could take off the Wi-Fi chip and the cell chip off it. And the apps are very limited. There's no Facebook. There's no Google. There's nothing. Anything that shares, you can't download it. And it's only like $7.99. It's $800. And it's super simple, secure, blah, blah, blah. And I'm talking about it has switches that disconnects the power from the Wi-Fi and cellular.
That's what I need, man.
Yeah. Yeah. At least as a second phone. It's the Linux something. Starts with a P, I think.
Trying to find my buddy actually just sent me this, and I was looking through it. We were talking about Wim Hof, and then he sends me this phone. He's like, "You need this, the light phone."
It's called the light phone?
The Beta light phone. It's kind of sexy too. It's like really simple, just like a little square box. Oh, like an iPhone's a square box, but
yeah, this shit's scary, man.
Well, dude, I got a theory. I'll just give it to you. This is my theory, real fast. And this is a funny one, but I mean the symbolism of call it alternate deities.
Okay.
I mean, if you look on the back of your phone, dude,
The Adam and Eve?
It's just like a bite of an apple.
Right. The Adam and Eve, is that?
Yeah. I mean, It's literally the bite of an apple on the back of our phone. We're talking about like
that's fucking hilarious.
What do you think? Like what's the Antichrist? The Antichrist. Yeah, it's like some dude's gonna come down and just be like fire and brimstone. It's like, no, the Antichrist is in your pocket, dude.
It's right in your pocket this whole fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, it's an alternative God.
Yeah.
It knows everything about you, everything you do. It keeps a record of it.
Better record than we do.
Doesn't even exist in time.
Yeah.
It's like a time it doesn't exist on your phone, actually, because it's all searchable. It's already telling the future. It's like all these different things.
It's already predicting. It's already creating your character.
Yeah.
And it's got like your soul inside. Like, remember the Social Dilemma?
Yeah.
You know how they were saying makes an avatar of you,
Yeah.
and then they put stuff in front of the avatar, and the avatar is like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Like, it has a copy of your soul.
It has a copy of who you. It has a copy of all your data points. Like, did you watch? What was that show, dude? The Cambridge Analytica documentary.
No, but I was just talking about this. Please continue. But I think I know what you're gonna say.
Well, it was the Cambridge Analytica documentary, and they talked about that Facebook, when they sold all the information to whether it be when they were dealing with how to get certain people elected, they would take and they would get rid of all the people who they knew weren't gonna be affected by it.
Right.
And then all the people who wouldn't, for sure, these guys aren't voting for him.
Yeah.
Let's call him Trump, for instance.
Okay.
These guys aren't voting for Trump.
Who's
Yeah.
that?
These guys aren't voting for Trump. These guys are for sure voting for Trump. Let's spend all our money in the middle.
Right.
Spend all our money on the undecided. So who are the undecided? Well, let's go ahead and figure out who those people are. So you take Facebook, for instance, you gather all that data, which is what Cambridge Analytica did. And they put together, I think it was like 100 different personality profiles.
Right.
So each of us who use Facebook or whatever, we were clumped into one of those 100 people data points.
Right.
And of that, call it the 20% that they focused on. And you don't know anything about who you are of those 100 different data points or where you've been organized into and what that means. We have no idea what any of that data means.
None.
Because on one side of it are psychopaths.
Right.
And on the other side of it are Mother Teresa's.
Right.
And in the middle is all of us. The world's a big bell curve.
And then on Facebook, I put, I like choppers and I like salads and burgers. And all of a sudden, I'm in the middle. I fell in that category.
And what if they found out some super weird shit about your personality type that, wow, these people are probably most likely to rob a Del Taco.
Right. Yeah, like the, what do you call it, Minority Report?
Yeah.
Where they start predicting fucking future crimes and they arrest you for crimes you haven't even done yet. And you're like, what?
Dude, of course that's happening.
What the fuck?
Of course that's happening. I mean,
that's funny because I've always given that as an example, but the fact that you're saying, of course that's happening, it's like, fuck, it is happening in a sense.
Well, okay, what would you do if you had all the data? What would you do? What if you're on the other side of the screen?
Oh, I can't. You know
What would you do with the data?
I'll be
What
honest.
would you do?
I can't even comprehend what would I do with the data. Is it data or data?
Data.
I think either way is
Say
good.
potato. I see potato.
What would you do with it? I don't know. Look, I know that the CIA pays Facebook $50 million or something a year randomly. I don't know for what. It's just like, here you go, Facebook.
I wonder if they want information.
What? The CIA? I don't know. Bro. No,
do you think they want to control people? Do you think they'd want to do that?
I think they just want to find out what kind of parts you're building so they can
Yeah.
build their own.
Well, there you go. Motorcycles, for
Right.
instance. So I have thought about it. And it's like, well, if you want to sell motorcycle parts to people or motorcycles, how do you do that?
Right.
What if you wanted to find people who potentially would ride motorcycles?
Right.
People that don't. What do those personality types look like? If you actually had that information, you might be able to find this vein of risk takers who are on the verge of purchasing or getting on a motorcycle.
Right.
And what do their personality types look like? And then, you could go after them specifically and talk about, what motorcycles do for you. And maybe it would press the right buttons for them to make a purchase.
So you would kind of do what's currently happening now.
Yeah.
Where it's just data to sell bikes, data to sell T-shirts, socks, whatever, artwork.
I mean, I think that is what they're doing for the most part.
Right. No, that's exactly what they're doing.
But I mean, if you talk to like Indian or, are they going like companies pay other companies a lot of money to figure out who their customers are, right?
Right.
And once you have that information, if you actually really had it, like everybody in America, like Facebook does, for instance, then you're able to plug that into a Facebook algorithm and pull out all those particular people that you want. Here's the data sets that I want to market to, which you can do right now on Facebook,
Yeah.
Somewhat. But if it was at a much broader scale, then it kind of starts to make sense about how you could change the tide.
Right. What I don't know if you would know this information or if it's your marketing department that knows this information, but your clientele, like if you were to go into Facebook, a business manager, and you were like, all right, I'm looking for people who like leather jackets and bikes, sports cars, like how would you describe your targeting?
I mean, we do targeted stuff, so we find people who, if you're in say at a Harley Davidson ownership group or something like that, and we're going after selling particular parts, for different motorcycles, like a R9T, BMW R9T owners group or something like that.
That thing's cool, huh?
Yeah. And
I like the build you guys did too.
Oh, the drag bike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing was fucking
The
so
R18.
loud. That thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that thing's radical.
I get so distracted in your fucking office, bro. That's what the fuck? The ADD in here is so contagious. Yeah. So you're targeting. So your targeting is based on the part that you're marketing.
The approach is different. Like
Right.
I actually kind of did like this whole like write up on this, like just for myself personally, because I was trying to understand it all.
Right.
Because obviously you want your marketing to be effective and you want to get your right product into the right hands. I don't want to like sell Harley parts to guys who own Yamahas. That doesn't work.
Right.
If you're just generally casting that broad net.
What about your clothing? Your clothing would be Harley guys, Yamaha, Honda, or just how do you target that?
Clothing's pretty broad.
Yeah.
And
There's
like,
even people that don't ride fucking buying your gear.
yeah, I mean T-shirts and hoodies, and some people just want to look like a biker, so they buy a leather jacket.
Yeah.
And we do have customers like that. But I mean, I think we definitely cater to real motorcycle riders more than like say your typical Harley apparel customer.
Right.
It's not like we're selling Harley T-shirts, just guys who want to look like they are bikers, predominantly.
Well, right. But I love the fucking functionality you offer. Like this jacket I've had probably for 7 years. I love the
That's killer.
simple fact that the zipper to close it goes downwards. That's fucking genius. I love the fact that you have a key ring holder inside of the pocket, especially with I have a Street Glide and I have a BMW. They're fobs, so it's just clip it on and done. The functionality, the quality, the materials, I love that. There was at one point, Harley's doing good. They're killing it. Harley's Harley, but there was one point where I didn't want to buy none of the gear. One, it had too much Harley Davidson all over the place.
Dude, that's why I started building what we started building. For that
Really?
exact same reason. I had a Harley jacket that I loved, but it had a huge Harley embroidery on the back.
Yeah.
And I bought it like just because I was going on a trip and I was like, the Harley dealership was around the corner and I'm like,
I need a jacket.
I need a jacket. And I went in and I'm like, oh, that thing's sick. You know, I saw the jacket. It's actually similar to the jacket that you have on.
Yeah.
My old jacket. It's out there. But then I turned it around.
You're like,
I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm going to be the guy that fucking, wears the concert t-shirt to the concert.
right.
I'm just not that guy.
Right.
And-
And I'm not going to pay $400 or $500 to advertise your brand, but we're kind of forced in that direction.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But like certain functionality, like even the little pocket right here in the fucking, forearm, top of forearm, just everything. The vents are in the right place. If you want to add the padding, you can add the padding. There's just a lot of shit that you did right that, a lot of companies haven't done right. And I don't
Appreciate that.
I don't, especially in the V-twin world.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff is like either shitty leather, shitty zippers. Another one of my favorite jackets, Dean got me into this jacket, was Lost Worlds. You know Lost Worlds?
I know.
In New York, they make horsehide jackets, and they're fucking. The sucky thing about this jacket, it takes like 5 years to break in. But other than that,
I always had a problem with jackets like that, dude, because I like wearing different stuff.
do you have any horsehide products?
We don't.
No, yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't
Yeah.
actually. I think it's illegal in California too.
Yeah, my wife would kill me if I made a horse jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, your kids would be like, "Oh, daddy, what happened to the pony?" Like, fuck. But functionality wise, all your shit's on point. The boots, I just picked up the few boots. Which model? I don't know what model this is.
Oh, yeah.
And all weatherproof.
Yeah.
Fucking blah blah blah. I've had these for almost a year, 8 months, 9 months. Functional. Everything's functional and it fucking lasts. What's the secret?
It's built by people who ride, Number one, our gear came from the perspective of you're going to ride a motorcycle in this, And we want it to be comfortable we want it to be comfortable right away.
Yeah.
I've owned Banton jackets, I've owned jackets that take a long time to break in. And for me, I wanted to feel broke in right when you put it on. I just wanted to put the jacket on, go ride and love it.
Yeah.
And the material was really important too. The leather,
Big time.
the leather quality and how long it's going to last, and because we want these jackets to last forever.
That is funny that you're talking about breaking in, because when I got your jacket many years back, it felt like it was broken in already. The only thing that I was mad about, it just looked new. I was like, fuck, I can't wait till it kind of gets the crease.
You gotta go sleep in it, dude.
Yeah, and I did. Sleep on the couch in the garage a few times, and just fucking. I would throw it on the floor purposely, like,
Yeah.
just to get that waste. And now it's getting that look, and now I'm like, wait a minute, I should probably preserve it a little bit. What's going on? What's going on with the future of Roland Sands? You've done so much crazy shit.
Yeah,
What's 2021 looking like?
that's everybody's big
Nobody
question.
fucking
What is 2021,
Bro,
man?
what are the winning numbers for the lottery in May?
Yeah.
No, but is there anything you guys are planning that
Certainly. Yeah. For us, I'm working on things that I know we can do. So if like the Super Hooligan series, our flat track race series.
Yeah.
I'm working on aligning that with American Flat Track and with Moto America, so that I can work with organizations that are for sure going to be able to go racing and have television. Because if we can't race at the one show or at the hand-built show or like what we normally do where we get in front of a lot of people, and bring racing to the people, which has been what we wanted to do, then at least we can get it in front of people's eyes, online. So a similar thing we're working on another online bike build-off.
Oh, you're gonna do an online bike build off.
Yeah, so we did the COVID bike build off, and it would start out as a joke, and then next thing you know, we had 800 entries.
Tell me about that. I didn't follow that. I didn't see that one. How did that work out, and what happened?
It was at the beginning of COVID, when COVID first hit.
So like March, April, May.
And it was right when they closed the country down, basically.
March.
Yeah, and it was like a lot of people went home. And in our minds, we're like, well, shit. Obviously, we want to try and sell some motorcycle parts and, keep people motivated. If people are going to be at home, let's motivate them to do something. Let's motivate them to pull that project out. There's a lot of people that have motorcycle projects sitting in their garages. Well, let's give them a reason to try and finish the thing, try and finish the bike, get them motivated, get them out in the garage. So people started pulling bikes out and building them. And then we gave
That's
them like,
fucking amazing.
we started giving away prizes, and we had a bunch of great sponsors that stepped up and gave a bunch of stuff away. So, you know, we ended up giving a guy like $4,000. You know, just from spot. Initially, it was like we were just going to give $2,000 to somebody for building a bike, and then people kept calling us wanting to be involved in it. Different companies.
And how did you? They sent images and pictures, or they did videos, or it was live. Certain things.
They would post stuff online, predominantly on Instagram.
Nice. And
Yeah.
they would hashtag you guys and.
Yep, they'd hashtag us. We hashtagged it coronavirus bike build off, and you know we had like.
Because you could do like a Zoom call, like, all right, post your pictures as you're building, and on May 2nd, we're all going to jump in a Zoom call, get your show girl, like, you know, get your little model girl there. People could have their kids. Look,
I like it. I like that.
And people will fucking watch that. And then this fucking Zoom call is brought to you by, you know,
I like that.
you know, and then you get both the Instagram and whatever Facebook and then
The live
Zoom
stuff.
or whatever you
Yeah.
know, video conference bullshit that's out.
Yeah,
That'd be dope.
I like it. We were looking for a way to expose it a little bit better in the end. So
I
it'd be
think that's
cool
the
to
way.
do something live. Yeah,
I think that's the way. You
get
know?
the builders to show their own stuff.
And then the builders, since they're going to be posting up, they can start, you know, building an audience.
Yep.
And hey guys, I need your support. Vote, 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 vote. And people get to follow that build for 3 months. And like, dude, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. I mean, how many people got involved for the first time you did it?
Yeah, we think we had almost 800 individual bikes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I mean
And you were
thousands of
fucking.
posts.
You were fucking around.
We were fucking.
I could
off.
just tell by your face when you said it right now. It was just like we were joking.
Dude, we were. I mean, the video was. I'm
Right.
sitting here at my desk. Joe, my media guy, was just like had an iPhone and was filming me with an iPhone.
Yeah.
And my sister goes, "They just closed the schools," and I'm like, "Fuck!" That means my kids aren't going to school right now. And that was like on camera, like for
Right.
real, like of the moment. So,
That
yeah,
was,
I
like,
mean
legit.
that's the bonus of social media. You know, get to capture stuff as it actually happens, and that was as real as it gets.
That's as real as it gets.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. That's how it turns into shit. It reminds me of Anchorman when she was like, "I told you I wanted to be a news anchor," and you're like, "I thought that was a joke."
That was a joke.
I even wrote it down in my diary. It's like Veronica said a very funny joke. Jesus, sorry. Bro,
all
the
time.
ADD in this office is crazy, dude. This is like a casino that's like oxygen and more. It's not even oxygen. It's like motorcycle exhaust and shit.
You got the view. I forget. Like when I look behind me, how much stuff.
Oh,
is
there's so
behind
much
me.
shit I want to add. Like, what's this bike behind you right there? This one.
That's a V5. Yeah, that's Kenny Roberts V5. So we built that with a MotoGP engine
Fucking A.
in alignment with Kenny Roberts back in 2010, I think.
2010. Is there a favorite? Do you have a favorite? I know it's like people say you can't ask if you have a favorite kid, but we all have a favorite kid. Like this one's smarter, this one's funnier. You know, is there what would be your top favorites? Like which one's your by brand? What's your favorite Harley? What's your favorite BMW?
Oh shit!
Can you do that, or you get in trouble for having a
Man,
favorite?
that's
in your
tough, dude. No, I don't think I'll get in trouble, but I mean BMW. I do really like that original Concept 90, the orange bike.
Yeah.
You know, it just had a lot of exposure, and it really like kind of put the line. BMW got to draw a line in the sand and say we're a custom company now, and we helped them do that, which was kind of cool. I mean, to help a big brand like that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
You know, I mean,
It's fucking amazing.
and we got to co-brand a product line with them, and do a BMW X Roland Sands hard parts line. That's
fucking
still
cool.
working for the R18. So
Yeah.
I think that bike really did. That's one of my favorite bikes from the project perspective. I got to work with my buddy Ola Stengard, over in Europe. At the time he was with BMW. Now he's with Indian. But no, I mean I really enjoyed working with him a lot. The V5 was at the time I
think it looks fucking mean.
that bike exposed us to the world prior to the BMW project, because it was like we launched it at MotoGP at Laguna Seca with Red Bull, and I did a huge burnout on the side of the freaking media center.
Really? On that bike?
On that bike.
Fuck, I gotta check that out.
I would have for sure got canceled for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if I would have done that
They
today,
were
I would have
woke
been
then,
canceled.
you know.
Oh, I
I
would
would
have
have
been.
been like, oh, this guy.
Man, he smoked out the
Fucking
whole media center.
Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck is this problem?
Jesus.
We're laughing now, but fuck, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a little clip of this and be like,
Mm.
nope, not these guys. Not these guys. I heard you say gay earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gay
I mean,
sweater.
yeah, gay
Oh,
sweater.
yeah.
Dude, come
well,
on.
gay in Europe's happy or
Yeah.
something. It's not like, like
I like the word gay. I mean, sometimes I feel gay. I'm like, the world's
happy.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's it. The world should be gay, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, we used to
It
call
shouldn't
cigarettes
be
used to
gay.
be called
fags.
fags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke a fag.
Yeah.
Hey, you have a fag?
Yeah. It just depends on when you're saying it.
When, where, how,
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care how anybody fucks.
Yeah. I
have no concern.
I don't give a fuck.
Zero concern.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
Like they were. I don't. Anyways.
I do have difficulty with somebody like pronouncing me, and I've never been pronounced where somebody was like, "Hey, you need to call me this in particular." I've never even had it happen to me.
Yeah.
Before.
That's.
I don't know what I would do. I think I would just be okay. I just won't talk to you anymore. We're
What
cool.
did they say? Like
Me and you-
63 different genders now, or something like that.
Yeah.
Pronouns or whatever it's fucking called.
You know what?
63.
I call just people like, "Hey, bro."
Yeah.
You know.
What's up, bro?
I mean, and if someone has a problem,
I'll get in an argument with my girl and my wife.
What are you
and
doing,
I'll
bro?
be like, bro. Are
I'd
you
say
serious?
dude. I say dude a lot. I call her dude.
Yeah, dude. Like,
she hates
dude.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she'll be like, dude. like,
like-
what the fuck is your problem, baby? Like, get the fuck out of here. Okay, so it's not just me. Like, legit. Like, bro,
Yeah.
really? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, my wife will complain because I'll call her dude, and then she calls our kids dude. She's like, dude. I'm like, that's a child. That's a little girl.
What the fuck's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
you're
You're gonna fuck up her gender fucking senses and shit. She'll be sensitive to that.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Okay, a few more questions. You've done motorcycles. You've done the Super 73. The Super 73 was fucking dope. Like, what? How did
Thanks,
that come
man.
along?
You know, like, I decided.
I had them on the podcast. That was like one of my top podcasts.
Who'd you have?
Michael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
top pod. I think that's still like my number. I think it's top 2.
Michael's a cool dude.
Michael's fucking amazing.
Did he talk about McDonald's?
No, we talked about a lot of funny shit. We talked about Star Wars. We talked.
He
It's
loves Star
episode
Wars.
6. You know,
I'll check it out.
You're episode 36. What?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, no, we talked. But you'll like it a lot. It's fucking
Cool. Yeah. He only eats McDonald's.
He only eats. He told me about the whole Disneyland. Like as soon as it opens up, he's gonna take. I got it on the fucking podcast. He's like, bro, when I go to Disneyland, it's fucking different. I got you. Like, especially Star Wars World. Like, forget about it. Like, I run that shit. But he
That's
only
sick.
eats McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like what? Like chicken nuggets?
I think he does nuggets, and I think he does plain hamburgers.
But only McDonald's? Like nothing else.
I think he'll eat a plain hamburger, but I don't really like them. He doesn't want anything on his hamburger. Nothing. Like it's a hamburger.
I used to be like I get that.
He told me he had the palate. He says, dude, I got the palate of a 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's just his palate never changed.
I had that till I was 27, 28. No greens, nothing from the sea, never had sushi. Like if I went to a sushi, I would go to a sushi place and order a chicken teriyaki. Just chicken teriyaki and rice, nothing else. I wasn't even eating burgers. I was literally eating like McChicken sandwiches, no lettuce,
Wow.
easy mayo, and till I no eggs. I wouldn't eat eggs. I wouldn't eat shit like a fucking 5-year-old, 6-year-old. Like I would not eat shit. I was premature. I was born like at 7 months, and I was tiny. And my mom says I just got away with like, ew, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I just got away with it. I ate a lot of chocolate, spaghetti, steak. I'd go to Subway.
Sounds like you sound like Elf.
Yeah.
Remember Will Ferrell and Elf?
Oh, Elf.
Remember when
Yeah,
he
yeah.
ate the spaghetti and
Yeah.
like chocolate
Just
and
straight
like
out. That was me.
syrup and
Yeah. That was me, 100%. Great fucking movie. And then, then I started trying shit. Like, I didn't like hamburger smell, but then I saw people seasoning hamburgers or using good barbecue sauce, and I was like, that looks kind of...
Yeah.
Then I started fucking eating anything.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that about Michael, that he only eats McDonald's. That's fucking crazy.
Blew me away. I was really interested in talking to him about it just to know, why.
Yeah.
Like, dude, my palate never changed. Like, for some reason, his palate never changed. And he said that his parents would actually give him different food to eat,
Yeah.
and he just wouldn't eat it. Like he would literally go to bed hungry. And like his parents punished him to try and get him to eat, and he just refused. And he was like, I don't even know why I did it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, I get that part. I get that part because I would do the same thing. Like my mom would make Cuban black beans, and they would fucking hold, my older brother would hold my arms back. They would force beans, and I couldn't. I'm like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
Fighting a 13-year-old and my dad, and I'd spit it out, and I wouldn't eat any of it. And today I don't eat beans, but again at 27 it finally switched over. Like
That's a trip.
He's right. He's fighting Star Wars, riding electric bicycles, and fucking eating McDonald's. That's the dream, I guess. And he's in great shape.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, it doesn't look like he's in bad shape, but yeah, I mean, the Super 73 thing, dude, go back, we got off on McDonald's.
Yeah,
but
bro, this is the randomest fucking conversation I've ever had. And this is the first time we met. We're like, what?
I know, dude. I mean, I talk about crazy stuff, but the Super 73, dude. I mean, that's been like such a cool project from the beginning. Just knowing for people getting into riding motorcycles, there's a lot of barriers for entry, and with Super 73s, you don't have those barriers. Meaning, like, you don't have to get a license. You don't have to get insurance. You don't have to kickstart the thing. The thing doesn't have to. You don't have to start it. It doesn't have to put gas in it. All you gotta do is charge it, turn it on, and use your thumb, and you can just go. And it's just like, and they're slow enough where people can get on it and get a hang of it, and anyone could ride. When your grandma could jump on and ride it, Yeah. And I mean, like my neighbors, my friends' wives, like, will jump on it and they'll go ride around the neighborhood and have a super good time.
Yeah.
And you'd never I wouldn't put them on a CR80,
Right.
I wouldn't put them on a motocross bike. I wouldn't put them on a Harley.
Even though we did it to our friends, we did it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy, right? I see what you're saying.
It's such a cool way to get into two wheels and to get into a throttle and get into like a powered two-wheel vehicle. And I mean, I love it because it's just like a gateway.
Yeah.
It's a gateway for two wheels. And for anyone who already rides, it's just like a cool addition to have.
Yeah, I'm contemplating on getting one. I just a part of me is like, I got a Street Glide, a 2020 Street Glide, and a 2020 GSA. Like, do I really need a 2020 Super 73? Yeah,
for sure, dude. Especially the collab bike we did. That one's sick.
Oh man, don't do this to me, man.
Yeah,
that's the only problem with me doing these podcasts. I'm doing these podcasts because I want to learn about people's brands. I want to learn about the entrepreneurship. I want to learn about a bunch of shit. Like, I ride because I love to fucking ride. Like I was just riding the other day, and the way that I feel like everywhere I ride to, when I get to my destination, I feel like I'm jumping off a parachute, like just fucking free, Like yesterday, I had to pick up my truck. I got in my truck and I started driving, and 5 minutes in, I hit traffic. I was so frustrated. I turned around. I said, fuck it. I'm just turning around. Went back home and got a bike. I can't. I love bikes because I love bikes. But I want to focus more on brands and what people are doing and the races. I've never really followed the races. I rode on Laguna Seca.
Yeah. When
I was at Harley Davidson in Monterey County, when they introduced the Buells, Eric Buell, we had the 1125. The 1125, was it? Can't remember. Anyways, they brought it out and we were able to ride through there. So I have a lot of riding experience, but I want to see like the fucking history and the fucking, the building parts of it. Like that's what excites me. But doing this podcast and learning, I just end up spending so much money buying, like, oh shit, now I gotta get a Super 73.
Yeah, motorcycles,
it's never ending.
It's an endless ladder for sure.
Two wheels, man.
Yeah.
Like, you would think that, like, if you have 2 or 3 bikes, you're good. And I was talking to it doesn't matter. I was talking to somebody else and I want to buy that bike. Like, it's never gonna end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always something you want.
Yeah.
We are humans after all.
But isn't that fucked up? Like I was concluding to that, like, companies and social media are made to separate you from your money. Like, they're literally like, I can pause it if you had to. Literally, it's like they're made to separate you from your money. Like, this is the newer version, like cell phones. Like, fucking, they're gonna download the speeds, or it's gonna be slower. You have to get the new model because the camera's a little bit better, and the screens you can't tell.
A little bit more horsepower.
Yeah, it's a little bit. We could have done it 4 years ago, but we did it this year.
Because we had to wait. Because
Yeah.
gotta have something new to talk about.
Always.
Isn't it new? I mean, humans are we're easily fooled by new. It's
This
just like,
is true.
that's the new. I gotta have it. I gotta have it.
I'll end it with this, but I thought this was an interesting saying. It was like back in the days when they introduced the cars, the rich people had cars and the poor people had horses. Nowadays, the poor people have cars and the rich people have horses.
Yeah.
Roland, thank you so much, man. We've been doing this for over an hour.
Okay.
All right, we'll do this
Yeah.
again, and
Yeah.
fuck until next time.
Dude, appreciate you.
Thank you,
Right
man.
on.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Well, there you have it. The guy is legend. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. To all my followers and subscribers, thank you. Make sure to go to Instagram and like. Make sure to share. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Again, thank you to everybody. Check out rideclean.co. Check out Roland Sands. And until next time, ride safe, ride hard, and ride boundless.